Good morning. It's turned out nice again, motherfucker. No, it has. It has. It's a beautiful blue sky. Do you want to see it? Look. Wait. There you go. See? Told you. Not fibbing. How are you doing? You all right? There's cushions everywhere. And these throw things appeared. And then down this side, there's more cushions. And then there's another thing in the corner. You know what that means, don't you? There is a female lurking. I mean, me and Remy, it's just usually me and Remy. Remy would be on the settee. I've got a cushion over there that I'd put my plate on and have my dinner. It's probably got baked beans, like stains on it and everything. But oh, no, not at the moment. No, there's cushions. It takes me an hour and a half to get in bed at the moment because you walk in the bedroom and there's pillows and cushions and fucking everything. Can you relate? Oh, dear me. Anyway, how are you doing? You all right? So, I've got a few things to talk to you about. And I've got Spanish lesson in about an hour. Yeah, about an hour. And I've got to get there. So I'm going to try not to make this video too long. Now, you may have noticed that this video is not prefixed morning briefing, but it does say it at the end of the title. That's for search purposes. All right. So basically, if you put Blue Window Limited, all right, at the beginning of the title, if anyone was to search that on Google, it's very likely at some point, maybe not today, but this video will come up in search results. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So I didn't want morning briefing at the beginning. Now, Blue Window Limited, which I will get to in a minute in detail, is the company that had been dicking me around for nearly a month, for several weeks, messing my daughter around, with regards money that they owed us, right? Which I'm going to explain to you about a little bit more in a moment. And some of you know this. Some of you know this company had been not paying us. They're promising to pay but not paying and things like that. And I had to register a domain name similar to theirs and add the word reviews at the end of it to highlight the problem of this non-paying company so that other people could be made aware of it, all right? And within that website going live, within hours, I was paid. Now, so I'm going to explain it. And there's a comment that one of you guys have left about this situation that I want to respond to as well. Now, we'll do that later in the video, right? That's going to be for people that are interested in cop talk, things that happen behind the scenes. It's going to be not exciting regarding Liverpool. It's got nothing to do with Liverpool. There's no transfer news or anything. But I try to, in my morning briefings especially, and on my other channel, the Duncan Oldham channel, you know, where I do my Dunk's Diary, I try to take you behind the scenes a little bit and show you not just the highs, but also the lows. Now, because of that situation, it's caused a great deal of stress for me, which is why yesterday I didn't touch on the Real Madrid game, for example, which I will do today. What the press wrote in Madrid and things like that. And so yesterday, although I was perfectly well, I felt unwell. Like I just didn't want to talk about things because this company's driven me up the wall. And I just want to explain to you what's happened with that. Right, so before we do that, I'm going to do my acknowledgements, right? And I think there's two people, okay? Two people to thank. One is Graham Summers, that used the super thanks feature on here on the Liverpool Real Madrid post-match video the other night. Basically 3 coffees or something like that. You know, I go to the cafe in the morning and people buy me a coffee. When I go to the cafe to review the Spanish papers, right? And to prepare for the day's content for you. So I've been this morning and I've got lots that I want to talk to you about today. And I go to the cafe in the morning to do that. And you guys know that, so you buy me a coffee. And Graham's got me 3 coffees and he says, yes, don't come on. All right. So thank you, Graham. When I went in the cafe today, because I didn't go in yesterday, as soon as I went in, the owner's an Atletico Madrid fan. He went, Liverpool. You know, he was quite buzzing about it, I think, because he didn't get a chance to speak to me yesterday. So I just want to thank Graham for that. It's the only super thanks, because maybe I haven't done any content, I don't know. And also I want to thank Niall, my good friend Niall on Revolut, who basically topped up a little bit for the weekend. Revolut, the link is in the video description. That's my beer kitty for Saturdays when I like my one day out, you know. So that's the acknowledgements. I was left a comment on here the other day that I want to read to you. Just shows you how people don't pay attention. It was on a Traitor Trent video. And I usually start that by saying, look, if you're a wet wipe, you know, the Traitor Trent series is just prefix Traitor Trent. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek, a bit of fun. You know, that's what football fans do, banter and all that. There's no malice in it or anything. You know, so if you're a wet wipe, this channel's probably not for you. And this person left a comment that says, someone called Red Moon 8217, WTF, you're a wet wipe if you don't agree with you, laughing face. Trent did what he did, get on with it. We are better than all the booing. We have Bradley better anyway, winning is the only revenge we need. I replied, I never said anyone was a wet wipe if they didn't agree with me at all. I suggest you listen again, you absolute numpty. Because as people know, and as I say in all of those videos in the Traitor Trent series, I don't care whether he succeeds or whether he fails. And I also point out that my audience is split. Some people want to boo him, some people don't, right? I use that series, or that series is for telling you what the Madrid media are saying about him for people that are interested. And at no time have I ever on this channel told anyone, if you don't agree with me, you're this, that, or the other. Do you know what I mean? But numpty here, not listening, didn't pay attention. And if he listens to the video again, he will see I made it very clear about, you know, and listen, you know, you have your opinions, guys. I don't care what happens to him. But I am interested to see if that move works out for him. All right, that's what the grown-ups do. Now, that was one comment. Now, the other comment that I want to bring to your attention, where is it? It's here. And it was posted by Brendan Broderick. And he said, I'm delighted you got paid by those cowboys. He is, of course, referring to Blue Window Limited of Malta. All right, that's where they're based, in Malta. That's his opinion, calling them cowboys, okay? I would have lost my cool, but it sounds like you had too many street smarts and experience for them. Well done. And I just replied and put, thanks, buddy. And he followed up and said, you are welcome. I think there might be a very useful video for future posting where you talk about how maybe other clients or just people in general have tried to deceive you, but you haven't given in. The methods you use to overcome these people might be educational to your friends here. And that's why I set up a website called Blue Window Limited Reviews.com. Now, so the company in question is called Blue Window Limited, and their website is Blue Window Limited LTD.com. I registered Blue Window Limited LTD Reviews.com. And if you search Blue Window Limited Reviews, which I did last night, certainly then it came up as second in the Google listings, which means anyone, you know, I don't know about you, but when I want to do business with a company, I always do put the company name and then reviews, right? And this is my biggest advice for any of you guys, if anyone ever tries to skank you, right? In any way, shape or form, is if a company, you know, companyaa.com, right? And you can register companyreviews.com or companyscam.com. It depends how you feel about that particular company. And the thing is, reviews is often a word that people, you know, they might not, you know, search is a company name scam. Maybe they're just doing some general research and not thinking that there is a scam involved. But if my advice to you would be, if companyaa.com has taken the piss out of you, maybe not, it's not to do with money. Maybe you've hired a company or bought from a company to do something for your house, right? Kitchensareus.com, right? They put a kitchen in, they've not fixed something that's gone wrong. All you have to do is register Kitchens, Arus, whatever the fuck I called it, reviews.com, and then every single person that checks on that company moving forward for the rest of eternity while your website is online, right, will find out about your experience. And it's not about damaging that company, it's about creating awareness, right? That's all, creating awareness. Because I don't want anyone else to get mugged off by a company that was mugging me off, right? Or certainly appearing to be mugging me off, and hadn't paid me until that website went online, right? So every single promise of payment was not fulfilled until that website went live, and it was paid within hours, right? And prior to that website going online, they owed me £300, right? I'll give you the backstory. £300. They suddenly said, you know what? If you take £250, we'll pay you today in full, right? That was obviously met with a very polite, fuck you, right? You agreed something with me. If you do business with me in any way, shape or form, on a personal level or a business level, which I hate calling it business, but legally it has to be a business because there's money involved, right? Then my handshake to you, or my verbal thing, is worth more than any contract. And this company tried to say, well, you didn't sign anything with us, all right? Okay? So there's a lot of things this company tried, and I'm going to document fucking everything, right? I'm going to show it to the fucking world. This is a massive company, by the way, right? Massive company. Or they certainly want you to believe it's a massive company. Now, the annoying thing is it's a company in Malta, and many of you know I love Malta. You know, my family have lived there over the years. It's a place when I was a teenager, I was going maybe a dozen times a year. I've got loads of friends there. Liverpool have some of the best fans in the world in Malta. If you ask me the most passionate fans in the world, if you had to name countries, Malta, I'd be like, absolutely up there. I can't pick a country that's got the most passionate fans, but Maltese Liverpool fans, fuck me, they know their football. And that's not, you can go back decades and you'll hear me say that multiple times, right? Absolute diehards, right? And lovely people, and a lovely island, you know, and a great connection with Britain, right? A fucking beautiful country, right? And I know that those Liverpool fans from Malta that know about this will be really, really like, oh, fucking hell, man, they're showing us up sort of attitude, you know what I mean? Because it's only a small little country, you know, got battered to fucking the war and all that. And boy, did they do their bit, that country. I love Malta, absolutely, right? And Blue Window Limited is based in Malta. So they came to me, or Charlotte, my daughter Charlotte. Now, Cop Talk is just a family thing. It's me, my little girl, she's not a little girl anymore, she's in her 30s, and my grandson, when he does something, her son, right? Three of us, me, Charlotte, Harry. Harry doesn't do much, you know, he's at school, isn't he? He's only a bairn, all right, but it's me and Charlotte. Neither me or Charlotte take a wage from Cop Talk. Now, what I mean by that is, no, each week we don't go like, oh, that's for you, that's for me. It doesn't work like that. Charlotte works voluntary on the website, right? She's got her own full-time job. She's a full-time mum, etc., but she helps her dad. And without Charlotte, I can't do any of this, right? So she deals with all the emails, all the memberships, any support issues, and advertising deals. And we don't take many advertising deals, as you guys can go and look if you look at coptalk.com, right? So, but what we do is, if there's any money left over in the kitty, right, then I would absolutely say, Charlotte's 50 quid there, princess, you know what I mean? Or 50 quid for me, or whatever, right? But you know what? The reality is, after each month of doing Cop Talk, with the exception probably of August, there ain't nothing left in the kitty, guys. It's really, really difficult these days. Unless you clickbait, unless you mislead, unless you make things up, and unless you cover your website in adverts everywhere. Go and read a news article on coptalk.com and you will not be hassled with a loads of adverts, right? So I try to do things right. So every penny we get in is absolutely super imperative. So they agreed an advertising deal with us for £300, right? And in reality, it should have been at least double that. If it should have been at least 600, if not 900. But because I had a really, really poor, like, couple of months or whatever, we've had to agree to anything at the moment just to get some money in. And when that 300 quid came in, or was due to come in, my intention was to say to Sharp, there's 150 quid for you there, princess, right? You know, that'll help you a little bit. That's how we would do things, right? But this company was screwing us over, delaying us, lying, you know, or appearing to be lying. Well, no, there's no appearing about it. We'll pay you tomorrow, or we'll pay you here, but not being paid. Well, is that a lie if it doesn't happen? Do you know what I mean, right? So they certainly appeared to have lied to us because they never paid us when they said they were going to, until my website, bluewindowlimitedreviews.com, went live. Go and have a look at it. I ain't even started on there yet, and it's already listed as second on Google, right, for that search term. Now, so they took this we took this advertising deal with them, right? So for 300 quid, yeah? And it was right back at the early October. And, we got the usual fobbed off, yeah, it's been sent, or multiple people have to agree to pay it, or the invoice link doesn't work. And then it was, then the email stopped. They didn't reply to us anymore. They only started replying when I intervened and said, if you don't sort this out, I'm going to have to do something about it and make sure other people are made aware, right? Which is not something I want to do, but I'm not going to let anybody else be subjected to the kind of situation we were subjected to as a small family business. And again, I hate business because Cop Talk to me has always been my hobby. It started as a hobby, but for legal reasons, you're paying taxes, if there's money involved, it's a business, right? And it's just me and Charlotte really, and Harry Elt's out and all that, okay? So the money was nowhere to be seen. Now, this company did a deal with us a year ago, and it was a very similar situation, because Charlotte said to me, Dad, they did this last year. Oh, we forgot to pay, or, oh, right, an oversight. I do apologize, that sort of shit, right? So there was history of this, but they did pay at that point, right? So this year, we do the deal again, and, it's a very cheap deal for them, which makes it even more insulting. And whether it was £3, £30, £300, £3,000, £30,000, £3 million, I would have taken the same course. If that had been £3, guys, I'd have done the same, right? Because no one takes the piss out of me. You're mugging my daughter off, right? And they might then mug off other people on the planet, right? So for whatever reasons they want to give, and the bullshit that they give, right, they didn't pay us. But they only paid us when I made that website live, right? It was, why have you made the website live? We told you we'd pay you. Yeah, and you told you pay us then, and then, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Take that website down. They're now threatening me, it's detailed on there at the moment, and I haven't published a single email yet. But it basically says delete the website, because we've paid. Well, no, because I had to buy a domain name, and I had to buy the hosting, and I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on this, right? So the domain name and the hosting is probably about 10 quid, 15 principal. I shouldn't have to do that. Do you know what I'm saying, guys, right? So if a company or an individual ever does some work for you or whatever, you create, if John Smith, right, a plumber, and he's got a website, johnsmithplumber.com, right? You do johnsmithplumberreviews.com, and you put it on it and you detail factual what happened for transparency, right? That's all I've done, right? But they're now threatening me legally, right? And they said that in an email to me. We can go down the route of law. I said, what for? You're gonna take me to what? You're gonna sue me for telling the truth? Is that what you're gonna do? Because I'm gonna publish every email. So how are you gonna get around that then? And then other people have stepped in, right? This guy messaged me with it, and he says, you need to tone you need to tone yourself down, or whatever he said. You'll see, because I'll publish emails. You need to tone down. I'm not having you bullying my colleagues or whatever. Hey, what the fuck's he on about? My email started with this person called Glenn saying, hey, dear Glenn, hi Glenn, whatever. You'll see. Hope you had a good weekend. By the way, you haven't paid me, so I'm gonna continue, making sure others are made aware of this kind of thing. And I just got these condescending, emails telling me, I need to tone it down. No threats. Oh, that's what they said. You're threatening us. Oh, I'm not threatening. It's not a threat. It's a promise. It's a promise to document how your company does business. So your existing clients and your future clients and people like me will get to see what you're like, and they can make a decision as to whether to do business with you. Because if you're struggling to pay a bill of £300, would you want to do business with them for £3,000 or £30,000? You know what I'm saying? I sent them an email yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I can't remember. Go to bluewindowlimitedreviews.com and you'll see I mentioned it at the bottom. And I said to them, look, thanks for paying. I acknowledge you have paid, all right? But you've put me through a lot of stress, all right? And, there's a domain name and hosting that I've had to pay to get that. And it's like I say, guys, it's probably about a tenner. But it's irrelevant, right? I wrote the 300 off, right? I didn't think I was getting my 300 quid. I didn't think it's not about that. It's about principle, right? And if I can stop one person having to go through what we've gone through, then it'll be worth it forever. Now, all they had to do is, I said, I think you owe me an apology, really, for how you've treated us, these threatening things and stuff like that about taking me to court. Well, they didn't say taking me to court, but pursuing law, you should really apologize, right? Because I think they should. You might not think, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks, because they've dicked me around and I know the truth and I can document every single thing. And on that website, I'm going to list in the name of every single person and every email communication from me to them and backwards and my daughter, etc., etc. No one can ever dispute that. Well, they can dispute it as much as they want, but I can provide it, all right? Do you know what I mean, guys? So I can provide it. And basically, I said to him yesterday, look, by the end of business today, meaning yesterday, listen, I think you owe me an apology. I'm also out of pocket. I've had to buy this domain name and web hosting. At the very least, you should cover that. Do you know what I mean? This isn't someone saying, hey, I want hundreds of pounds out of you or thousands of pounds out of you because of the stress and drama you've caused me. You fucking should pay that, to be honest with you, because as you can see, you've stressed me out. Totally stressed me out, right? But no, all you had to do was send an email to me saying, yeah, you're right, we probably did handle it wrong, right? We apologise. And I'd have gone, all right, yeah, don't worry about it, because that's what I'm like, yeah? But no, they chose to ignore me yesterday, didn't respond to me, and it's there in black and white. It's about $14, $13 or whatever. All you had to do was say, we are sorry for it. We did make a mistake, really. We didn't handle it very well, because one of the things I pointed out to them yesterday when they said, well, you need to take that website down, was, what if I now, responded to you like you responded to us, right? So think about this. I'm now going to adapt or to adopt the things they said to me. So they want something doing of great urgency now. So this was me before. Can you pay me, please? Because you haven't paid what you owe me. Silence. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right, let me check the time. Right? Nothing. So what if they email me now saying, can you take that domain name down, that website down? What if I don't reply to you and you do to you what you did to me and my daughter, right? Nothing. What if I replied to you as you replied to me and said in a condescending way, hey, just hang on a minute, right? Multiple people have to make these decisions, because that's what they said. Multiple people have to decide, and this guy says, I'm the one that decides whether you get paid or not. But other people, they're in on it to decide as well as to whether that invoice goes forward, that payment. What if I reply and go, well, I'd like to take that domain down, that website down, but I need to speak to other people about it. My daughter, for example, now the way you fucked her around over the last few weeks, she might turn around and say, no, Dad, don't. Fuck it. We're better off without the 300 quid, right? To protect other people from you doing that to them, right? What if I said to you in your email when you're demanding, telling me to take it down, what if I reply and say, hang on a minute, I've got hundreds of clients and hundreds of people that I need to deal with. You'll have to wait your turn, which is basically what they said to me. We've got hundreds of clients. You want us to pay you now? No. We've got multiple people that need to make that decision. We have hundreds of clients. You can just say, I don't give a fuck about your hundreds of other clients. I care about this client, right? The whole way that company operated over a measly 300 quid is terrible, right? Now, measly, you might think measly, what are you flapping for? I told you, if it was 3 quid, I'd say the same thing. Right now, that 300 quid is very important to this business. When I say measly, I mean to them, because they're giving off the hundreds of clients vibe, right? They're giving off the hundreds of employees vibe, right? So to them, £300, I don't think it's a lot of money to them, but to a little business like me, and I've got my princess helping me, right? It's a lot of money to us right now, right? But it's the principle. It's the principle. Now, the other night, my daughter, grandson, and dad, they went to go and see Sunderland play, right? And I think they played Everton. And on the way back, the car broke down, right? The car broke down. They were stranded all night, right? All night, waiting for the RAC. stranded. Now, had them fuckers paid the 300 quid, right, in time, I could have turned, if that money was available, I could have turned around and said, right, I can, here, get a taxi back to Scarborough. Dad, it'll cost us 200. It doesn't matter, there's that 300 quid, right? Do you know what I mean? Just things like that. But the money comes in, and because they've left me waiting so long, then it gets swallowed up instantly, So I can't do that. I can't be dad. I can't be granddad. I can't rescue the day, So when things like that affect the small man, which I know I'm not a small man, but you know what I mean, in a business sense, it can have a really an effect on a family, And I want everybody that does business with them to know about this. Everyone, right? And that £300 could end up costing that company tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of pounds, right? And they paid the £300, right? Eventually, only when the website went live. And if they'd emailed yesterday and said, yeah, we're sorry, we didn't handle it very well. Look, there's your £12 or whatever the fuck it is, right? That'll cover your domain. I'd have gone, all right, yeah, okay, leave it, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? But no, they chose not to. So these could be very, very big decisions and big mistakes that they've made, if you think about it, right? So, is there a lesson to be learned here? Yeah, there is a lesson to be learned here. When you operate, right, just be honest with people. If that was an individual, right, and said to me, I know I've got a little business, Duncan, and I haven't got that cash flow at the minute. Can I sort of, I'd have gone, mate, do it. Even if I was desperate, I'd say, mate, come on, man, don't worry about it, yeah? But when it's a big company, right, screwing you over, lying, condescending, sending me condescending emails, threatening me, telling me to tone down my emails. I was never aggressive, guys, in a single email. I wasn't passionate like this. No, all I said, the only threats that they could perceive from any communication from me was, well, I'm going to make other people aware of it, and I'm going to put a website online, then people can see it, transparency, and they can make their own decisions if they want to do business with you. That was it, right? And they literally held us over a barrel. Well, we'll do this. Well, we might pay you. Well, there's all these people to deal with. Nah. You picked the wrong person. You picked the wrong person and the wrong family. And I know my Cop Talk people watching this video will feel exactly the same, right? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, if they were owed 300 quid, would be disgusted by you, right? Absolutely, 1,000,000%, right? I wrote the 300 quid off. Yeah, but what I'm not going to do is see you do it to other people. And they're writing to me saying, well, we don't think we're going to do any more business with you. Really? Do you think I'm going to do anything with you? No way, Jose. No way, Jose. So, Blue Window Limited Reviews, LTD Reviews, stays online, right? When you apologise to me, if it's a sincere apology, and you cover the expenses of a domain name, an epoxy bit of hosting, which is going to cost you, what you do the euro out there, less than 15 euros, I imagine. When you apologise and when you pay that, I'll think about it. All right? I've fulfilled my side of doing business with you. You requested an advertisement to be placed on coptalk.com, and we did that for you. And even though you didn't pay us for weeks and weeks and weeks, we still left it there for you. You then tried to bring that price down and tried to bullshit your way out of the situation. At no time did we say, go fuck yourself, or we've took that down. You think you've done us a favour by finally paying me what you owed us, right? But you only did that after that website went live, when your arse collapsed, which is why you're sending me emails now demanding I take it down. Well, guess what? It ain't going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere until I get an apology from you, which will then be sent to my daughter as well. So it better include her, because she's the one that's had to deal with this until I stepped in. And until you pay for that domain name and that hosting, I don't want expenses for anything else, right? I'm not trying to mug you off. I'm not trying to get money out of your company. I shouldn't have to buy a domain name and web space. I shouldn't have to do that. But mark my words, I am relentless. Relentless. I will contact every single client of yours and make them aware of it. And I'll make sure any future client, prospective client trying to find information about your business finds it. an apology. I want my money for my domain name, and I want my money for the hosting. And I can provide receipts for it. Are you going to cry over €15, $15 or whatever it is? You picked a fight with the wrong person. All right? It's principle. If that had been £3, if that had been 30 pence, I'd have still done exactly the same. So, I hope that's explained to my viewers about the situation, because up until now, I've told people about this over the last few weeks, and I never told them the company name. And I could have done, but I didn't. But now they know. Now they know, right? And I will not only publish every email and the name of every person and every threat and every single thing you've sent to me by emails, right, on that website. I will make video after video after video reading out every email as well. And every single one will have Blue Window Limited in the title of the video, right? So you can shove your 300 quid, right? I don't care. I don't care about that. But I'll make sure you never skank anyone ever again, because the evidence suggests you weren't going to pay, because every time you promised to pay, you never did. You only paid after that website went live. Thank you. There you go, guys. So that's what I've been dealing with over the last few weeks. All right? And please, if any company, if you're self-employed and any company ever does anything like this with you, all right, or any individual, you know, even if you're not self-employed and a company's done something to your house, or they haven't fulfilled their obligation, or you feel let down, come to me and I will help you. Right? I'll sort it all for you. And I don't want anything for it. I don't want a beer. I don't want nothing. Because one thing you've got to do in life is look after each other. That is it. Right? That is it. You go on Google and search Blue Window Limited LTD reviews, and maybe you'll find the website. I don't know. If not, just add .com. And over the coming weeks, when I've got time, I'm gonna document the whole thing. And then companies looking, I'll be like, oh, I don't want to do fucking business with them. And the name of every single person, because this company, they do, SEO and advertising and all that. I don't think I'd want to be associated to them. I'd have my domain name blacklisted and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, in fact, actually, when I've finished with it all, when I've documented it all, I'm just going to leave it on there, and I'll pay for the hosting every month until the day I die. I might make the domain name available for sale for €1,000 if anybody wants to buy it. All right? At the moment, I'll just happily delete the site when you apologise, and it better be sincere, all right? Because I can smell a bullshitter a mile off. That's what my mum used to say to me when I used to lie to her when I was a kid. You can't bullshit a bullshitter, all right? So if I get a sincere apology and you reimburse me the cost of the domain name and the hosting, todo bien, all good. All right? Now, guys, I'm always here if you need advice. I can only give you my advice from experiences, right? I'll document the fucking lot and you can see it for yourself. But remember, when anyone ever tries to take the piss out of you, register their name, register their company name, put reviews, whatever afterwards, and it'll come up in the search results and you'll help other people. And as long as you don't lie and you only tell the truth and you're not out there and you're a set of bastards, which maybe they are, all right, just be honest. Let people do it. Put your email address on this. Yeah, you can contact me anytime. I'll tell you how they dealt with me. Once it's on the internet, it's on there forever. All right? Until you take it down, maybe. Okay, guys, if you found this video informative, please thumbs up the video. All right? Please thumbs up the video. If you work for Blue Window Limited in Malta, thumbs down the video. I'm sure you'll want to. You can leave a comment if you want as well. Very transparent on this channel. You can leave comments. You can defend yourself if you want and tell people that I am making this up. And then I can go, am I? Here's the email communications. Let's have a look. No email from them this morning. Okay, that's cool. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I want to do. And October was a bad month, as you know. So my revenue was down more than 50%. £300 to me. Charlotte, the business, what I try to do for the love of what I do, right? Needed that £300. Didn't need this stress. Think about it. I've recorded a video for 35 minutes now. I could be talking to you about Liverpool matters, but here I am having to explain this to you because of a company that thinks they can fuck people around. Not happening with me. All right, guys, take it easy. I'll see you in a bit. I'll keep you posted. Blue Window LTD reviews.com. Go and check it out. I'm going to be putting everything on there. We'll leave it at that. All right, guys. Cheers.